Hi, nice to meet you.
You as well. Fantastic performance in this. I want to start out with your character Joan's relationship with Bob. Despite having as the film called it, a tempestuous relationship, what do you think attracted those two together?
Well, Joan at the beginning of this film was kind of on top of the world musically. She had sort of reawoken an interest in folk because she was a young, beautiful, talented musician singing old songs in a new way. But she was, I think, having a bit of a resistance to her relationship with fame and what all that meant. Um, and wanted to use her platform. I mean, she was this budding activist. I think she wanted to use what she had, the attention that was on her, to say something greater. And I think, when she met Bob, he's this like vagabond, kind of a mess of a boy, and yet he has these like absolutely brilliant ways of expressing what I think she was trying to say. So I think she was just really drawn to that element of him. I mean, of course, he was a charismatic performer, but even that I think developed as he went along. When she met him, I think she really just fell in love with what he was saying, with his lyrics and his essentially poetry.
We see a lot of emotion in Joan's eyes in this film, whether it's staring out into the crowd, looking at Bob on stage, or looking over at him on the side of the stage. What kind of story did you want to tell with her eyes?
Um, you know, I don't know that I really like thought about my eyes. I think the interesting thing about Joan is that she is an observer. The way she writes about herself is just very open and honest, and um, she is really perceptive. She drew a lot, which I think like when you draw, you look at the world differently. And so I did some of that very privately on the side. I will not be sharing those sketches. Um, but I think I just tried to sort of embody what I understood about her and the way she processed the world, and the beauty of working with someone like Jim as a director is that he chooses his moments of close-ups, and in the edit he knows how to filter through for sort of the best of those moments, the best of those sort of observational moments, and what they sort of do for the story. Um, so yeah, I don't know that I thought about my eyes, but um, but yeah, just I did everything I could to sort of process how I thought she might feel in the moment.
I just want to wrap up really quickly on becoming Joan. When portraying a real life figure, it can kind of come across as just doing an impression. But how did you
Sure.
embody Joan and make her really come to life on screen?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was important to all of us who were representing musicians in this film to not be doing any level of mimicry. I mean, that can be maybe a part of the process to kind of find a way in and to understand them, but ultimately, when you show up, you want to let that go and embrace their essence. And I feel everyone did that. I feel like there's a bit of a push and pull, and maybe one take felt more mimicked than another. But I think at the end of the day, you set all that work aside and just show up presently with your scene partner, and Timothy and Ed and Boyd. They were all just such magnificent scene partners. Elle too, but I just didn't. We didn't have scenes together.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Monica. It was a pleasure talking with you and very nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too.